Lunar New Year holiday, people in Hanoi flock to the Temple of Literature to ask for letters that express their wishes for the new year. The art is usually done by male calligraphers, but there is one female calligrapher with more than 2 decades of experience who attracts many locals. Huang An Diep has been studying and writing calligraphy for almost 20 years. Her love for calligraphy started when she first saw Chinese characters in the pagodas. The beauty of the calligraphy inspired Diep, a calligrapher from Hanoi, to learn how to write Chinese calligraphy and ancient Vietnamese script. For her, learning calligraphy is a way of preserving domestic culture and has been her passion since she was a child. Most people usually connect calligraphy with pens, ink and paper. However, the art it requires 3 important factors. First of all, the technique requires time and patience. Secondly, the work must express the writer's personality and their spirit with each stroke. And lastly, the materials the artist uses has to be designed for calligraphy, and the brush must be soft and not too hard to write thin and thick strokes. Diep has also learnt modern Vietnamese and Japanese calligraphy. She says that with the techniques used for Chinese calligraphy help her to write modern Vietnamese calligraphy. But despite the Chinese influence, Japanese calligraphy stands out with some distinctive features. She says the way Japanese artists hold the pen is very relaxing and loose. They don't follow strict Chinese techniques which control the pressure, inclination and direction of the brush, producing thinner or bolder strokes and smooth or toothed borders. They use grass writing techniques which allow artists to leave the paper, resulting in graceful, swooping shapes. Diep has many calligraphy scrolls displayed in her house. Many people love Diep's style and visit her during the Tet holiday for a letter of their own from old folk to children. Diep creates their desired letters and also gives them advice and explanations about the meaning of the letters. Dang Xuan Phi, and local from Hanoi, goes to Diep's house every year to ask for a new letter. Before she writes one for Dang, they talk and discuss the meaning of the letter. This year, Dang asked her for the letter Patience. Her calligraphy technique is very good and the letter is beautiful. Since 2008, Diep has had her little corner in the Temple of Literature, along with other calligraphers as part of a calligraphy association. Many people visit her stall to ask for letters for the new year. People usually ask for happiness, luck or health, which express their expectations and wishes. According to Diep, people should only ask for 1 letter each year, which represents their highest wishes without being greedy and asking for too much. Manila Fame features the best of the country's craftsmanship and creativity, including age-old weaving. Here, Ria O. Matute, Deputy Executive Director, Manila Fame 2014, explains more.
I think this is the language of the Philippine culture, is weaving. And we wanted to highlight that. I mean, primarily to provide, it's a communication tool to tell people the story of the weaves of the Philippines, for people to appreciate the heritage of the Philippines, the cultural heritage of the Philippines in weaving.
Weaves of the Philippines is a special installation which shows the pinya of Aklan, which is made from pineapple fibers that is carefully knotted and woven by hand manually using a loom. The Tanalak of the Taboli, a traditional cloth woven by the Taboli women of South Cotabato and Davao that is made of abaca fiber. The tikok mat or banik of Sama, which is woven using tikok, a type of grass that grows in swampy area, and the famous abel of Ilocos Sur.
In abel weaving is a synchronized movement of the hands and the feet. So while you're pushing the loom, your feet also have to do the pedals at the same time. So if the weaver makes a mistake, there's also a mistake in the weave. So it's a synchronized movement and it's not very easy. These are all Ilocos products.
Various displays of baskets, textiles, placemats, towels, ropes and clothing materials are weaved using the abel. The Kenyer Elephant Village, or KEV, a state government project in the Kenyer Lake tourism area, is aimed at drawing more tourists to Terengganu, Malaysia. KEV, a two-phase project, features 8 towers, a 500-meter-long suspension bridge, an elephant performance center, and other facilities, constructed at a cost of 3.6 million US dollars or 11.65 million ringgit. The first phase, a 12-hectare site which opened to the public recently, provides visitors a hands-on experience with the pachyderm. Visitors can witness the various behaviors and habitat of the elephant, such as digging, dust bathing, playing and riding the elephant, among others. Well-trained elephants would perform and showcase their skills in painting, dancing, playing football and making music with a harmonica to entertain the visitors. The management has hired experienced trainers from Thailand to train these elephants. The local coaches are also gaining experience in handling the animals. The elephants are aged 1 to 5 years old. The elephant settlement, built in 2012 on a 109-acre of land, is segregated into 3 different components for wild, semi-wild and well-trained elephants. The project would have 30 elephants when fully completed. An interesting and unique feature of the Kenyer Elephant Village is the suspension bridge, a perimeter lookout point and the treetop chalets. The area is very attractive with its waterfalls, and tourists who stay in the chalets get to see the elephants wandering in the area. The Elephant Village, together with the Kenyer Lake, will boost the state's tourism industry. The state is targeting about 500,000 tourists to the largest artificial lake in Southeast Asia, which is sprawled over 260 square kilometers and has 340 man-made islands. From September next year, Tasik Kenyer will also be the first duty-free lake in the world. A new graduate finds himself a lucrative career in breeding fighting roosters native to the northern province of Mae Hong Son. At the age of 23, Yutha Nasak Kwekam has utilized his knowledge from college years and developed skills and techniques from his own experience. The backyard of his house in Pai district, a popular tourist destination, has been turned to a gamecock farm to produce rare breeds like Burmese fighting cock. The most popular and expensive breed Yutha Nasak has in his portfolio is Pakoi fighting cock that can fetch around 70,000 baht each. His roosters and eggs are shipped, and not only to buyers in Thailand but also China, Malaysia, Indonesia and Laos. Not only fighting roosters, the young man also raises other majestic breeds of birds such as peacocks and pheasants. A wax sculptor made a transformer robot model for the Buddhist Lent this year instead of his traditionally political caricature images. He is among wax sculptors in Nakhon Ratchasima province who are sending their wax model entries to a local contest set on July 11th to 13th on the occasion of the upcoming Buddhist Lent. Watachara Nadi, 47, said he made the wax robot model to communicate a constructive message to general people instead of teasing politically concerned parties as before. Watachara is a teacher at Nong Bua Loi School in Phi Mai district and has been well known for his political caricature wax models representing Wat Doem Temple in Phi Mai on the annual occasion of the Buddhist Lent. Watachara said that he chose the robot in the Transformer film to encourage Thai people to love one another and be united instead of being divided and used like citizens in the story of the movie. His wax robot model is 180 centimeters tall and weighs 60 kilograms. At Wat Nong Bua Rong Temple, sculptors made wax images of animals wearing national football team jerseys to match the 2014 World Cup. There is also a wax model of the locally popular Sawat cat mascot. The Nakhon Ratchasima Municipal Office had sculptors make the caricatures of well-known persons like news anchor Sorayuth Sutasana Jinda and comedian Ko Ti. Wax models from other local temples present the history of Lord Buddha. Singapore launched its first nano satellite into space recently in what's touted as a step forward for the country's aerospace industry. Orbiting in space some 650 kilometers above Earth is Singapore's first nano satellite. That's because it has electronic components that are smaller and lighter. This can help companies save money as launch costs are calculated by the weight of the satellite. Velox One also boasts customized equipment built by the NTU team, a camera sensor that's radiation resistant and extendable lenses that take high-resolution photographs from space.
This new component and sensor eventually can be, this is already launched in space, and if it's space proven, eventually can use for other satellite, big satellite for commercial application. And we hope that this will actually benefit the Singapore space industry in the long term.
With these projects, the university hopes to give students more experience in developing satellites and nurture a pool of talent for the industry.
As an engineer myself, I believe that building a satellite is something very, very challenging. So if we are able to build a satellite itself, as my prof always says, we can actually build many other stuff.
The university is now building Singapore's first weather satellite for tropical climate studies. People with disabilities will soon have a place where they can find jobs, seek help or simply hang out with the public. This one-stop centre will be located in Red Hill and should be ready by the second half of next year. It will occupy the 30,000 square metre space which formerly housed the Employment and Employability Institute. The centre is operated by SG Enable, an agency for people with special needs. It has received support from the Community Chest, which has raised $2.5 million so far that will go towards the upgrading of the site. This amount will be matched dollar for dollar by the government. At the centre, people with disabilities can hang out with the public in an integrated community space. They can get information on assistance schemes and support services available or seek jobs. Employers can use this block to conduct courses and on-the-job training. In the future, it could also have a supermarket, opening the opportunity for people with disabilities to interact with the general public. People with disabilities who have work experience can mentor others here at the mentoring space. SG Enable said the aim is to create a shared space to encourage integration and inclusiveness.
We didn't want this place just to be an exclusive place for persons with disability, as if it is a part that is divorced from the larger society and community. In the design of this place, we have consciously want to make sure that the residents in and around this area, the people that are coming through this area, will also have the opportunity to come by and understand this community.
37-year-old Edwin Koo is a Braille transcriber. He hopes to meet more people and pick up new skills at this centre.
Hopefully there will be structured programs and even training opportunities so that we could actually show to employers, potential employers, that being disabled, we are also well versed.
The public can suggest a name for the centre by taking part in an online contest.